Welcome, everyone. I am so happy and delighted to be here with you today. For those who don't know me, my name is Guillaume. I am one of the master teacher at Master Shadow Center in Antwerp. And today we have a special treat. We have a special guest to let you know about an upcoming workshop that we will be doing. However, before going right into the topic of what we will be talking about, I invite you, if you are online with us, to let us know. Hit the like button, share, comment wherever you are coming from. This is always a pleasure and a delight to see where and whom is being with us. So, for those that wants to know more about what is the spiritual journey, to understand the spiritual journey, we have today Dr. Peter Hudoba. And Dr. Peter Hudoba is really a special human being. For all of his life, as far as I know him, he always has been on the spiritual path, the self-discovery path. And it has led him above the ocean, across the ocean, to be able to meet and two continents to be able to meet Dr. and Master Shah and to be able to understand deeper what does it mean? Why do we need to follow a spiritual journey? What is a spiritual journey and how we can grow from it? So let us welcome Peter Hudoba. Peter.
Hello, Guim. Hello, everyone. Yeah, thank you for inviting me to join you today. Uh, that's true. What you said is true. I was very young when I started my journey to enlightenment, and very briefly, we moved to a new subdivision. It was on the hill. Our school was down, so I had to walk every day to school. Um, and took me about 45 minutes to get to school and then go back. And I was still young, I think 10 years old. Um, I was returning home and it was snowing heavily. So I had to wade through the snow, came to house, and I was first at home because mother and father, they were still at work. I set up the stove to put on fire and made myself a linden tea. I love linden tea. So I took the linden tea to our living room and put on the table a book and tea. And I started to read the book. It was book with several novels and my favorite author, and he wrote that the one I read that time it was about Christmas, and so imagine that atmosphere that I was alone, everything was quiet. Outside there was slowly drifting snow, and now I read, and that scent of the smell of my favorite tea and the beautiful atmosphere suddenly spilled over everywhere. It became profound stillness, silence, like nothing. And it filled me with ecstasy. The, the exquisite peace, no thoughts, no worries, nothing, all gone, just total peace and stillness.
Wow.
Oh, that was awesome. And so I wanted it. But next day I come home, I do the same routine. I put on the stove, made me myself a tea, open the book, read, nothing. Nothing. In desperation, I try in vain. And again. And I realize this is some special state, situation that I want in my life. And I just couldn't. And so the search started.
That's really interesting to to hear about your own experience, about how it all started. I believe all of us at some point had that awakening or state of blissfulness at some point in your life. But for you, it was really that key moment to help you to discover on that journey. I know that before meeting Dr. and Master Shai, you were very well versed and well studied in various ancient Eastern philosophy. So, how did you came about, and how did that improve your life as a whole? I believe.
Huh. So it's. I hope I will not hurt anyone's feelings, but this is my experience, and I'm sure that many people in my situation would agree. What happened is, in my country there was political system. I'm from Czechoslovakia, so when I was young, there was political system that didn't approve of spirituality, of religion, and my parents had to be very careful. So I was baptized in a small village in the mountains. Nobody knew us, and also then I could not go to the church when I was in the place where I lived, but I would go when I was with my grandfather. He lived in another city, and we would go just to different church. Nobody knew me, and didn't cause any trouble to my parents. Um, but as a boy, I didn't feel very comfortable, honestly, because I was full of energy. I started to be like a little bit restless, and then suddenly this old man sitting in front of me turned like that. Ooh, I got scared. And then starts fidgeting again because it's too long, yeah, for a 5 6 years old boy.
Um,
And so then what happened? I got scared of the church. Very sad how it happened. I felt that that's a place. Even after that experience, I felt church was always quiet, and probably that's a place where I could gain that. I didn't understand who would explain this to me. Huh? Um, but I didn't feel that. I was fearful because all the time they were putting me down, the adults, and they didn't have like we have in other churches in Canada, that there is a room for children because obviously they have to be moved aside. And but I didn't have that, and it was hard on me. Yeah, so I was searching. And I eventually came to the Tao Te Ching, Book of Masters, Master Lao Tzu, and that's how it started.
wow, what an experience! So I believe, because you were living in a period behind the Iron Curtain, that time of Europe, that was really difficult to be able to have access to those books. But how, the fact that I would say your experience with the church and the fact that you were also learning from the Tao Te Ching, from those texts, how did it really influence your life, and how did it build you up to succeed or to lead to have the life that you had or
Mm.
that you still have?
The thing is that uh, the books found me. Uh, always someone appeared in my life who had a book about Taoism. So totally amazing. Uh, and about Buddhism. So, for example, when I studied medicine, first year, I met a man who was reading a book in the park. And I come to him and ask, what are you reading? And he right away put it in the pocketbook. Oh, no, no. And we were actually in the retreat, in the retreat studying something. And first day, Saturday morning, I went out and there is a small pond and somebody sitting there next to it. And so I come and so what are you reading? He put the pocket book in the pocketbook. And I said, no, no, can you show me? And okay, very reluctantly, he showed me. And that was a book, Tao Te Ching, that was translated into Czech language in 1920 or so in the Prague, in the university, someone. And Of these books survived through the war and then through whatever happened in our country later, brutal stuff. Um, so few people had them. And so eventually he showed me. I opened the book and there is Tao Te Ching. I read first line. Tao Ke Tao Fei Chan Tao. The Tao that you can speak about is not the true Tao. That moment, it went through me like a lightning. Something those days I didn't understand. It was like ants were under my skin. The whole body shivered. Totally amazing. And I got so captivated. I said, "Can I borrow this from you?" He said, "No." I said, "Honestly, I will definitely return to you. Let it me for these 2 days. I will take down the notes." And he said, "Okay, okay, okay. I trust you. Do it." So I was the best example of the student who is taking notes through the whole retreat, because everybody was sitting and snoozing, and I was writing like crazy. But nobody knew that on my lap, actually, I had a Tao Te Ching, and I was copying down page by page, like insane. And so by the time the retreat ended, I handed back the book. I had my own copy. I copied it down, 81 page, 81 chapters. Totally amazing. And similarly, in another way, many books came on, and I read them. I started to study them, and they guided me. And eventually, I become who I am now. Well, until I met Master Shah, he put some improvement into it.
Wow, it's wow. I mean, I have no words because for me, it was my parents basically who opened me for the path of that were something else there. You know, it wasn't like I was a sudden awakening, but just the fact that there was something else than just as I discovered later the usual life. Like you have to sleep, you have to have maybe some leisure to have I mean, to find a wife, a family, and to work and do that kind of the same routine again and again. So uh, I would say I'm trying to also to understand how I would say what would have been what are the benefits? I mean, I know that since you've met Master Shah, because there has been so much heart opening experience, but I know for a fact that even before meeting Master Shah, you were a successful neurosurgeon. You were successful in many fields. So how I would say all those events benefited you prior meeting Master Shah and then after meeting Master Shah.
uh, well, I studied two. Basically, I practiced Christianity. I used to go to church, and I was practicing Taoism, learning Taoism. I was practicing Buddhism at the same time. So I was in three different religions simultaneously, and it didn't. I didn't see any conflict in it, unless I talked in the church. That would be conflict right away. So the thing is that each teaching gives us something, and when we really go to the heart of those teachings, and I will be speaking about the workshop in 2 weeks, they are all very similar. They are talking about the same thing. It's just different way, different culture, different time needed some different way to explain it, and so person appeared who then guided others and made that explanation. And so, in Christianity, I was taught the Ten Commandments: you will not steal, you will not lie, and you will not kill, and these things, yeah, one after another. And so that makes you a better person. Yeah, if you really listen to it, then you will be much better person. Um, and the same thing is in Taoism and Buddhism, that you learn very quickly that whatever is happening in your life is actually your own doing. And if you want to have a better life, you need to be better person. Um, like don't do to others you don't want others to do to you. Yeah, those type of teachings, and and so even if there is something which seemingly seems to be not related, we know that it is action of our previous actions, the result of our previous actions that comes to us. And so the good example is that I have a patient in my clinic, and if I am kind, loving to the person, and offer them great service, they are happy. And then they go out and they speak. I met this guy, and he's really good. So if you have this issue, then go and see him. He's very nice, and he really knows what he's doing. Well, if I treat the patient not the right way, not kind, angry, or I mistreat them and just very quickly dispose them, not paying attention, they will talk also. And then would spread around, even put on internet these days. Don't go to that guy, it's a jerk, and blah, blah, blah. And so our own actions can determine we have a success or we have a problems. This example is very simple, but people don't think that way. And so what happened is that applying these principles and really trying to always work it out in myself uh, created the success.
So I believe you give us just the key for success then, just to be kind to others, to be loving to others, so they are happier.
That's
That's
right.
kind of, yeah, that's basically the teaching Master Shah has been telling us. um, I said to serve is to make others happier and healthier. I believe we can live by that guideline easily. Wow. Well, I would say thank you so much, Peter, for your time. This was really a lovely way to get to know more about you, about your journey, starting from a young boy to where you are right now. It is always inspiring. I mean, there is no words to, I mean, say because it's been more than 10 years now that I've known you. I remember the first time I met you in Vancouver. I mean, your face for me when I met you was like a closed face, that kind of the way I perceived it, because my heart was not open also at that time. Like when you meet people for the first time, you might have some prejudice. But as the time went by and the years went by, I would say, and in the journey that you have made along the way, I see your face much more glowing, much more loving, and I believe people who knows me would be the same, saying the same. We are more loving, more caring, more compassionate, and I would say if it is, it's not about the spirituality, but just a way of self-development. I think this is also a good way to start it. Don't you agree?
Yes, definitely. The thing is that Master Shah just helped me to transform whatever I had to be a better person. I had some knowledge about it from reading books, but practical application I was lagging because you just can't see your own mistakes. You think this is how it is and this is how you are behaving, and you think that, as you said, people think that I'm closed. So whatever it was, the master shall help me to work it out. And the spirituality, in my understanding, that over the years, it's more than 60 years now, I've been actively pursuing this, is less that outer ritual that many rely on, and rather the deep transformation that rituals can help you. Rituals are definitely important, but unless there is an inner transformation inside the person, then it's just massaging the surface. Unfortunately, all the teachings are the same. They want us to be loving, to be caring for others. Recently, I was watching the YouTube video about the golden temple. It's the most important Sikh shrine. They have the kitchen. They are feeding daily 100,000 people. 100,000. I mean, they spend every day several tons of flour to make the bread. They make tons of lentils. I mean, I'm saying that they are making 4,000 pieces of bread every hour. And that's what they do totally for free. People donate money, they buy the food, and they feed 100,000 hungry people every day. Can you believe that? It's just hard to imagine. And they do that every single day. And so that's a core of every religion, to support others who are in need, support those who are poor, those who are disadvantaged, because that's why we show our love in practice. To sit in the church or temple and just sing a song and go home, uh, it's not it. If you really feed 100,000 hungry people a day, then you are doing something. You know what I mean? So that's a practical change, that we are different, that we live for others, helping them, and not closed and thinking about our own miseries and whatever else.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, if you are interested to know more about it, we are inviting you actually on that free introductory evening on May the 19th, uh, to spend more time with Peter Hudoba about his wisdom and knowledge. If you really want to spend a full weekend, which I would strongly recommend, this is on May 21st and May 22nd, where we will have the opportunity to go deeper about understanding that self discovery journey, the spiritual journey, and also how to be able to go through whatever we might face along that path. So you will see here a link in the comments. Oops, I don't have the link yet. So you will read the link later in the comments about where you can find this workshop for all those who wants to be with us. You can always check our website, MSTC for Master Shadow Center, MSTC Antwerp, the city of Antwerp, .drsha.com. So we are we are looking forward actually to be with you again next week for another interview with Peter Hudoba. And in the meantime, have a wonderful rest of the day, a wonderful rest of the night, and please share this video with your friends and loved ones. Thank you.